Welcome back, dear children. Myself, Sir Sunil, your chemistry teacher. Students, how are you? I hope you all are eagerly waiting to open our school. Clear, students? Okay. We are discussing our third units, elements, compounds and mixtures. Are you understanding the concepts? Okay, students, you have to read every day the chapter 2 or 3 times. And I have given unit first and second question answers to you. Don't forget it. You have to learn. Your long holidays are coming. This is also still you are in holiday. Clear? So your homeworks I am going to give you. You have to do the homeworks and all. Complete the copy work and learn the question answers. Unit first and second. Clear? And also diagrams, important diagrams I am going to give you. Clear? That you can see in your lofty platform. Okay, students, go through it and try to do the holiday homeworks. Okay. Then today I am going to discuss our third chapter, elements, compounds and mixtures. How the atoms are represented. All of you open your book and ready to watch this video carefully. Okay, students, here is our topic. How is an atom represented? Atom is the smallest part of a matter which cannot exist independently. We have discussed. Okay, atom is the smallest particle of an object which cannot exist independently. Which can exist independently, that is molecule. Okay. So anyway, smallest part of an element, that is an atom. An atom of an element is represented by the symbol of the element. In other words, the symbol of an element represented one atom of the element. The symbol of an element represents one atom of the element. For example, H4, we know that H4 hydrogen, C for carbon, N for nitrogen, O for oxygen, Na for sodium, Mg for magnesium, Ca for calcium and Fe for ferrous or iron. This all represents an atom of hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, sodium, magnesium, calcium and iron respectively. Okay, students, H, C, N, O, Na, Mg, Ca and Fe represents hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, sodium, magnesium, carbon and iron respectively. Okay, students, now we are going to discuss about the molecules. The molecules, these all points are new for you. Okay, that's why you have to underline and keep. Okay, molecules. Atoms generally do not exist independently. I told you atoms generally do not exist independently. And atoms combines with the atoms of the same element or the other elements to form molecule. So atoms joins and forms what? That is molecule. If atoms are joins, then what will be formed? That is molecule. Molecule will be formed. These molecules can exist independently. Atoms cannot exist independently, but same time molecules can exist independently. That is, they can stand on their own. Molecules can stand on their own. As atoms are indivisible, they always combine in whole numbers. Atoms are indivisible, that's why this always combine in whole numbers. How are molecules represented then? Then how are molecules represented? Molecules are represented by formula. Atoms are represented by symbol. Okay, symbol. But molecules are represented by formulae. The formula of the molecule shows how many atoms of the same or different elements have combined together. Clear? The formula of a molecule shows how many atoms are there for same or different elements have combined together to form a molecule. How many atoms combines to form a molecule? That shows one formula of a molecule. Okay, so this molecule of an element, molecules of an element, we are going to discuss what it is. Okay, students, that when an atom of an element combines with the atoms of the same element, that is atoms of the same kind, the molecule of an element is formed. The molecules of an element is formed, I told you now itself, by joining the atoms. For example, an atom of hydrogen combines with another atom of hydrogen to form a molecule of the element hydrogen. Thus, a molecule of hydrogen is made up of two atoms of hydrogen. Okay, a molecule of hydrogen made up of two atoms of hydrogen and is therefore represented by H2. And is therefore represented by H2. This H2 is called the molecular formula of hydrogen. The molecules of oxygen, nitrogen and chlorine also can be written like this. Clear? The molecules of oxygen, nitrogen and chlorine are also made up of two atoms of the corresponding element and are therefore represented by O2, N2, Cl2 respectively. As hydrogen we can write the formula of the oxygen, nitrogen and chlorine also, O2, N2, Cl2. Now what is molecule of a compound? Molecule of an element we have discussed. Now molecule of a compound. When, however, an atom of an element combines with atoms of different elements, a molecule of a compound is formed. When an atom of an element combines with atoms of different elements, a molecule of a compound is formed. For example, an atom of oxygen combines with two atoms of hydrogen. An atom of oxygen combines with two atoms of hydrogen. Then what is formed? Formed H2O, that is water. Clear? So, for example, an atom of oxygen combines with two atoms of hydrogen to form a molecule of the compound water. Similarly, an atom of carbon combines with two atoms of oxygen to form a molecule of carbon dioxide. That can be written as CO2. CO2 means carbon dioxide. The molecular formula of carbon dioxide, that is CO2. Thus, a molecule of a compound is made up of atoms of different elements in a fixed proportion. Some examples are given here in the table. Okay, water, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, then chemical formula H2O. Chemical formula H2O. Okay, then carbon monoxide, 1 hydrogen atom, 1 oxygen atom, then chemical formula CO. Clear, students? And then carbon dioxide, C means carbon, carbon is 1, oxygen atom is 2, then forms CO2. Nitrogen dioxide, N1, N means nitrogen, O means oxygen, then NO2, we are getting NO2, the formula. Then sulfur dioxide, S1O2, sulfur dioxide SO2. Okay, students? Now, calcium oxide, Ca1O1, CaO. Zinc oxide, Zn1, Zn means zinc, oxygen 1, formula ZnO. Sodium chloride, Na1, Cl1 means chlorine 1, chlorine atom 1, the chemical formula NaCl. Now hydrogen chloride, in hydrogen chloride, hydrogen atom is only 1, chlorine atom only one, then combines to form HCl, that is a formula of hydrogen chloride. Then zinc chloride is ZN1Cl2. The chemical formula is ZnCl2, zinc chloride. These all chemical formulae are important for you. There is one section in the question paper to write the chemical formula of the following. So you have to underline and learn the chemical formulae and symbols. Okay students, don't forget. A molecule is the smallest part of an element or a compound that can exist independently. Some compound formation is given in the diagram that you can make as important. Clear? This is your holiday homework. Okay, I'll give you the Lofty platform also, you have to go through it. Okay students, the homework will be given, the important diagrams also given to you, that will be drawn in either in a drawing sheet or in a drawing copy. Okay, you can choose if you are getting from the shop. Okay, you have to complete, and anyway you have to complete when the school starts. If now you are getting the time, if it is possible, you get the copy, a small drawing copy from the shop and complete it. These all diagrams I'll give you in the Lofty platform. Okay, students. And now we are going to discuss about pure substances. A pure substance is one that cannot be split into simpler substances by physical means such as filtration, sublimation or distillation. Okay students, what is the definition of pure substance? A pure substance is that one cannot be split into simpler substances by a physical means. A pure substance cannot be split into simpler substances by a physical means. Clear? By the physical method we cannot split it, such as filtration, sedimentation, sublimation, distillation and all. An element or a compound cannot be split into simpler substances by a physical means. So elements are pure substances. Example: carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, calcium, iron, copper, silver, gold. Okay, please underline. These are the examples of the pure substances in category of elements. In the category of compounds, what are the examples? Remark it here. It is given here. Please mark it. Clear? Carbon dioxide, water, sodium chloride, glucose. Clear? Carbon dioxide, water, sodium chloride, glucose. Please mark it. These are the examples related to compounds, pure substances. Clear? Pure substances, examples. Now we are going to discuss about the mixtures. A mixture is the substance that can be separated into two or more pure substances by physical means. Clear? But pure substances, it cannot be split into simpler substances. But here in mixtures, please mark the definition. In mixture is a substance that can be separated. That can be separated into simpler substances by the physical method such as filtration, sublimation or distillation. The pure substances that make up a mixture called the components. Thus, the substances contained in a mixture, that is called the components. The mixtures are made up of some substances, by mixing up of some substances. These substances are called the components. Pure substances are already found on their own nature. They usually mix to form mixtures. For example, air is a mixture. We know that air is a mixture. There are different gases in the air, like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and water vapor. Ordinary water is a mixture. Ordinary water, that is a mixture of some calcium and magnesium salts with water along with some air dissolved in it. Seawater is a mixture of large number of salts with water. Seawater also mixture is in it there are different types of salts. All soils, rocks and minerals are mixtures of variety of substances. All soils, rocks, minerals are all mixtures of variety of substances. Plants and animals are made up of mixtures of very complicated substances. All things we eat, raw or cooked, are mixtures of large number of substances like carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, salts, etc. All things which we are eating are all mixtures. Clear? Milk and blood are also mixtures. Milk and blood, that is also those are also mixtures. Milk and blood are also mixtures. Don't forget it. Man has made many mixtures that are more useful than pure substances. For example, alloys. Clear? Alloys are stronger than pure metals. An alloy is a material prepared by fusing a metal with other metal or non-metals followed by cooling. Thus, it is a mixture. Alloy is making by mixing up of metals or non-metals. For making jewelry, what we are using? Gold. Mainly we are using gold. Gold is alloyed with some copper and silver metals. Clear? Gold is alloyed with some copper and silver metals. Steel, an alloy of iron, carbon and manganese, is stronger than its components. Cement is a mixture of compounds. Cement also a mixture of compounds of calcium and aluminium. It is more useful than its components. Clear? Medicines, soaps, detergents, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. are also mixtures. These all kinds of substances which we are using in our daily life, all mixtures, all comes in the category of mixtures. Then what are the characteristics of mixtures? A mixture has the following characteristics. The components of a mixture, please underline it, the components of a mixture may be present in any proportion. In any proportion, the components can be contained in a mixture. For example, a sugar solution may contain 1 spoonful per cup and another may contain 2 spoonfuls per cup. Sugar solution, in sugar solution we can add 1 spoon and also 2 spoons also, then 3 spoons if you are adding also, that is a sugar solution. Okay, like that the contents can be in a variety of ratios. Clear? Also, any amount of honey can be mixed with the sugar water mixture to get a honey sugar water mixture. Again, air contains more carbon dioxide in cities than in countryside. Clear? Carbon dioxide contains more in cities than the rural areas. Now, another characteristics is the components of a mixture coexist without chemically reacting with one another. Please underline it. The components of a mixture coexist without chemically reacting with one another. For example, hydrogen mixes with oxygen without reacting it. Clear? A chemical reaction takes place only when the mixture of the two gases is kindled. When chemical reaction happens means there is a process we have to do that is kindle. We have to kindle it or heat it or burn it. Then only the chemical reaction will be happens. Similarly, soil does not react with water when they mix to form mud. Another characteristic is the components of a mixture retain their properties. For example, sugar. A sugar solution will be sweet and watery, and a solution of salt will be salty and watery. The components of mixture retain their properties. Sugar is sweet, then sugar solution also will be sweet. Salt is salty, then salt solution also salty. The components of a mixture can be separated by physical means. For example, soil and water can be separated from muddy water by filtration, and sugar can be separated from water by distillation. Okay, sugar can be separated from water by distillation. About we will discuss later. Clear? In later classes we will discuss about this, because many methods are coming to separate the sugar from the solution and all. Clear? We will discuss. In fact, depending on the properties of the constituents, various methods used to separate them, that we are going to discuss now. Separating the components of mixtures. When often need to separate the components of a mixture, we have to use some methods. It is only by doing so that we obtain common salt from seawater, petrol, diesel and kerosene from crude oil, and drinking water from ordinary water. For separating the components of a mixture, we take advantage of their characteristic properties like color, shape, size, solubility, melting point, boiling point. These all points we can take to separate the mixtures. There are some conditions Clear? These are the conditions: color, shape, solubility and all. For example, to match your red shirt, you can separate red buttons from an assortment of differently colored buttons. From a mixture of salt and sand, you can obtain salt by dissolving it out in water and evaporating the solution to dryness. By the evaporation method, we can get the salt back from salty solution. Okay, so here we are going to discuss some methods, okay, some methods to separate the components of a mixture. So first of all, we are going to discuss about sieving. If a solid mixture is stirred or shaken on a mesh, particles smaller than the holes in the mesh pass through and the bigger ones remains on a mesh. Once we do the sieve, what will happen? Tea and all we are preparing at home. Means mummies are preparing, mothers are preparing the tea. What they are doing after preparing the tea, they are using a sieve and they are doing the sieving process. All the tea powder will be remain in the sieve itself and the pure tea will be remain the downside in a cup. Okay, like that, the sieving is a method to separate the components from the mixtures. If a solid mixture is stirred or shaken on a mesh, particles smaller than the holes in the mesh pass through and the bigger ones remain on a mesh itself. Thus, particles are separated on the basis of their size. In sieve case, we are considering the size. This process is called a sieve. The mesh is called a sieve. Small and fine sieves are used in the kitchen to separate bran and other impurities from flour. The impurities remain on the sieve and the flour passes through. Bigger sieves are used to construction sites to separate stones from sand. To separate stones from sand, we are using big sieves in the construction sites. Small sieves we are using in the kitchen and all. Clear? The examples of sieve, okay, you can see the sieve. Those who are not seen the sieve, okay, okay, you have seen, okay. Now also I'll show you. This is the sieve which you are using the kitchen and all to get bran from flour, to separate it. Then here we are using the construction site. This type of sieve we are using. Okay. Now second one, magnetic separation. Okay. So it's a time to wind up the class. So okay, students, you go through the lesson. If you have any doubt, you can ask to me, and don't forget about your holiday homeworks. I'll give you some diagrams, important diagrams I'll give you that you have to draw and complete the copy work. Okay, students. So go through the holiday homeworks also. So today I am going to wind up my section. Till next class, goodbye and have a nice day.